What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Q, Quinte, or Quintessential. Whatever you know me as the host of BLK Talk. Guess what? We have an exciting show for you today, so sit back, tune in, and join the conversation.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Q, Quinte, or Quintessential. And I'm back with another amazing episode of BLK Talk. Today, I have one of the publicity world's most, hottest rising stars or whatever you want to call it, Mr. Kri Peck. Thank you, Kri, for joining us today.
What's up? Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I know we've been trying to do this for a long time, but both of our schedules have been kind of crazy. So I'm so happy to be talking to you, Q.
I appreciate that. And yes, you are absolutely correct. I mean, this is the season full of events. It's a lot going on. So, of course, with that being said, schedules definitely have to match in order to make greatness happen. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Yeah. So like you said, my name is Kri Peck. I am a 25-year-old publicist, actor, and entrepreneur. I'm based in Atlanta. And yeah, man, I'm just a man of God. I'm a man of possibilities. When things seem like they're not possible, I love to push the envelope and make them possible. And yeah, I just love to network. I love to just do my thing, man. If you don't know what PR is, it's basically publicizing content to make it, simple. So I work with television brands and I work in the music industry with record labels and their artists and actors to help publicize their content. So wherever that's like, a movie or a TV show or a single or album or even a product. And I just love to do that because it's something about helping somebody make their dream come true and help bringing their vision to life. Like I have the connections, so why not utilize those connections to help publicize people's, their dreams.
That's true. Now, what do you call yourself? Now, there's publicists. Some people refer to themselves as PR specialists, brand specialists, marketing gurus. What title do you feel suits who you are and what it is you do, to the T?
Mm-hmm. Well, I do several different things, like you just said, but in terms of PR, I just say that I'm a publicist because there's so many different things that are in that sector. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of marketing that goes into being a publicist and PR as well. They're kind of different, but at the same time, they're very, very similar. They're like cousins, if you will. So like a publicist can be like a marketing specialist, like you said, marketing guru or whatever. So to me, the big umbrella is that I'm a publicist, but like you said, I'm also an entrepreneur. I have my own business. I'm also an actor, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I do several different things, and I'm a firm believer that you can, you don't have to do just one thing, you can have your hands in different pots.
So let's rewind 5 years ago. So I've been in Atlanta's media industry for, at this point, maybe 12, 13 years. So if you go away for just a hint of a minute, you'll come back and there are new faces that are going to be around. So 5 years ago, hitting an event and I see you. So, where'd this guy come from? And funny thing is, when we connected and I got your contact information, Kri Young was in my phone. That's the name that I still have in my phone.
That's good.
But as you guys see, it's Kri Peck. So if you could tell us about the Kri Young versus the Kri Peck name difference.
Yeah. So Kri Young it's an alter ego, if you will, maybe. So I'm from North Carolina, very small town in North Carolina, and I moved to Atlanta to pursue my dreams in the entertainment industry, right? And so, when you go to college, especially in a new city, a major city, it's like, oh, I'm gonna reinvent myself. I can be whoever I want to be. These people don't know me, And so my full name is Kri Nija, but nobody can say my first name. Like nobody could pronounce it. They call me Kri Ninja, whatever, what I'm saying? So I just made it simple for people and I just cut off the second half of my name and I just went by Kri. And then the young part, I don't know, it just sounded fresh and cool. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to be this boss in the industry. I'm coming in and this is what my name is going to be. But as I, grew in the industry, I was like, you know what? I want to go by my name. My first name is Kri Nija, but I'm just going to go by Kri, and my legal last name is Peck. So I'm just going to go by that because I want it to be more professional. It's not a lot of letters. It's short. Like, people can remember it. I don't know a lot of people named Kri. So yeah, I just went by that for that reason. And a lot of times when people see me, they think that I'm mixed with Asian, and I believe I am. I do need to do my ancestry. But a lot of Asian Americans, like, their last name will be Young. So it was kind of like a play on that. No disrespect to the Asian community. I love them, and I think that I am a part of their community. So I think it's okay for me to have changed my name to that. So yeah, that's how the Kri Young came about. But it's crazy that you still have my name saved as that, because some people still do as well. And it was like, I didn't know a whole bunch of people during that time. Like, I changed my name, like, to my legal name, like, shortly after I moved to Atlanta. Like, it wasn't that for that long. Like, I didn't go by Kri Young for that long, like maybe 3 or 6 months. So when people still like call me that, I'll still answer, but it's just kind of funny to me.
And you know what? The crazy thing is, it wasn't until our prior conversation prior to this interview that I actually asked about it, because I've been meaning to ask about that for a very long time. And I know how it is to come to a new city and like recreate yourself to somebody who you feel can, I guess, fit the aesthetic of who you're trying to be while making other people comfortable. But like, for me, say for instance, I shortened my name. My real name is La Quinte. I can't tell you how many different people have called me so many different variations of that, and none of them are right. So I just shortened it to Q. But as you can see right here, it says Quinte. So, getting to a place where you're comfortable being who you actually really were, name-wise, like, how did that feel? And when did you decide, like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and this alter ego, I'm going by who I really am?
It really just came with like confidence overall. Like, it wasn't just my name. Like, I had to get to a place where I felt good inside. Like, I had to be centered. Like, I'm in this new city. I didn't know anybody when I moved to Atlanta. Like, like I said, I'm from North Carolina, very small town, like maybe 2,000 people. So going to a major city, it's kind of easy to be insecure a little bit because you're not used to that, But I really just had to get centered. I had to pray. I worked out. During that time, I had really, really bad skin. So I got my skin together. And then I was like, you know what? I know who I am. This is my name. Even with Kri, right? Like, I thought about going by like an alias or something, like making up a name like Chris. Like, I thought of crazy things, Like, I was like, maybe I should just add an S to the end of Kri, so it's easier for people to say and remember. Because when your name is different, like, sometimes people won't remember it because it's not something that they've heard before. But I was just like, you know what? This is who I am. This is my name. People are gonna remember it, and they definitely have. So yeah, it's just about like saying to yourself, this is who I am. People are going to remember my name. They're gonna respect my name, and yeah, put some respect on my name.
And you know what? Over these past 5 years, a lot of people have. You have, like I said, been a part of some of the most amazing events. You guys have brought some of the best talent. As a matter of fact, I think you guys, and no offense to anybody else that is out here doing this, you guys are like number one when it comes to everything that's going on in Atlanta. Like, there was an event last week, and I hit you up a couple days later, and I'm like, did y'all do this event? Because it's what you guys do. Anything great that comes in and out of Atlanta, Kri is absolutely connected to. So when you were coming up in your small North Carolina town, did you feel that you would be in Atlanta, and like, what did you feel like your life would look like before you moved here?
This might sound kind of crazy, but yes, like, I did know that I knew I was going to work in the entertainment industry in some type of capacity. I wasn't exactly sure what it looked like, but I knew that I was going to be a part of it. I used to dream about it. Like, I literally would go to sleep and my grandma would be like, you're a dreamer. Like, you can go to sleep and you can remember your dreams. Like, people can't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that people do. But even to this day, like, every time I go to sleep, I always remember what I dream about. And when I was a kid, I used to dream about it. Like, I used to dream about being on red carpets and like connecting with people that I grew up watching on TV. And so, for that to be my reality it is kind of crazy, because like where I'm from, that doesn't happen. You hear about people, in their hometowns, how it's like they either end up going to jail, or they're, a drug dealer or whatever. That is very much reality for me. Like a lot of my family members, that's their truth. A lot of my friends and, people that I grew up with, that is where their life is today. So for my life to be where it is, I'm just so grateful and I'm so blessed. But I did know that because my personality was just kind of different. Like people to this day, like they'll tell me, you give me like a LA vibe or whatever. And I take that as a compliment, but I think what they're really trying to say is that, you just kind of have like a star quality, if you will. And I'll take that. But yeah, to answer the question, yes, I did know, because I literally used to dream about it. And I think that came from the higher power. I had a rough upbringing because, like I said, like people be running in my backyard from the cops. Like I saw stuff like that. So to be there and to see that every day, to coming to where I am now, it's just truly a blessing.
Now, moving to Atlanta, how did you get connected in the PR game?
It's so funny. So right now, my partner, his name is Von Alvarez. We both are co-partners of the Create agency. But when I first moved to Atlanta, it was my first year of college at Georgia State University. And I was like, you know what? I got to get in this entertainment industry. I don't know what I got to do, but I got to get in. And it's like everybody around me wanted to be a part of it. They either wanted to sing or dance or act or whatever. And I was like, everybody wants to do that, but I got to get in a different way. So, I was already studying like journalism classes. And if you don't know, like publicity is under like the sector of journalism. And so I was like, okay, maybe I can do this PR thing. So, Instagram was kind of just taking off around that time. It had already been around for a while, but now it was like transitioning to where people were using it as like a networking tool. So I put in my bio that I was a publicist, but I really didn't even know what that was at the time. And so this gospel singer reached out to me. She was like, hey, I see you're a publicist. I'm in Atlanta. I need one. Can you be my publicist? So I charged her like $200 a month. And I just kind of just got her to events. Like at that time, I didn't know like you got to like actually get them interviews and stuff like that. But I thought at the time, okay, if I just get her in these events and, have her rubbing elbows with the who's, that'll be, me earning my keep. So I heard about an event that Von Alvarez was doing, and I got his email address and I, submitted my client, and he denied her. But I had already told her that, you know what, we good. The event is this Wednesday. We coming, like get dressed, get your outfit together, And so he denied her. And I was like, dang, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. So my other friend, his client was approved. So he gave me the details and stuff. And so we showed up anyway. And we basically we didn't bum rush, but, we got to the table and her name wasn't on the list, of course, but they were giving out wristbands to like say, okay, this is a wristband to give you entry into the venue. So whenever the person wasn't looking, I took a couple of wristbands, I gave it to her, and I got her on the carpet. Yeah, I had to thug it out. I had to
oh no.
Dollars. And so I got her on the carpet and I didn't know what to do. Like I just was like, okay, go, and she was standing there. She was like asking me what should she do? Like who should she talk to? And I was just so confused. It actually ended up being a mess. Vaughn came in and he kind of like escorted her down the carpet, let her talk to some people. And I was terrified. I was like, oh my gosh, he's coming over. He's going to like kick us out. I'm going to lose my client. I'm ruining my name in this town. But funny enough, he actually had respect for that. He was like, you know what? You're very young. I can tell you have no idea what you're doing. But, I appreciate that ethic, like that drive to like get it done. I see that. And he's like, I really want to work with somebody like that. And so basically the next day we had coffee and he was like, I need an assistant. And so I started off as his assistant. And the rest is history. From there, I worked my way up all the way to managing partner. So it's been a journey for sure, but that just goes to say, like, sometimes you got to just thug it out and just fake it till you make it, if you will, because now I'm where I am, and I'm so grateful.
You know what? I appreciate that story because it shows sides of people that you really never that you've never experienced? Like, I've always felt that you were like definitely a cool person, but I never knew how you actually got started. I just knew that one day I saw you at an event, you
Mhm.
know. So I commend you for going after something and actually doing it.
Yeah.
Now here we are 5 years later, you know, you guys, the roster of clientele, the events, the different things that you guys are doing, it shows no signs of slowing down. Now, how do you, as an individual, as managing partner, as an entrepreneur, as an actor, hell, as a friend, how do you kind of keep yourself together? Because we know, you know, dealing with a lot of things and a lot of people, you know, it can take its toll on you. But mentally, how do you keep yourself together?
I'm not gonna lie, it's hard, and I'm still trying to enforce boundaries, because that's really what it comes down to. If you have boundaries, it makes life so much easier. And when I say boundaries, it's like, oh, well, I won't accept calls past 9 p.m., or I'm not going to every event this weekend or this week because, I'm tired. I need to
Yeah.
rest. You know what I'm saying? But it is very difficult because we're in an industry where there's always something happening. And for me, I have fear of missing out. Like, I don't want to miss out on what's going on around me. I want to be everywhere, but you just
Yeah.
can't be. So you have to set boundaries for yourself, for sure, and do things that you like, and try to do new things. Like this week, I'm gonna start playing tennis because I've always been interested in that. But it's like I
Mm,
think that is gonna keep me from burning out, because don't get me wrong, I love what I do. It's fun, it's exciting, but sometimes it can feel like I'm just going through the motions because I'm
mm,
always going and I'm always doing something. So you got to just do things that are personal to you that make you feel good. Pray, do yoga. Working out is a great way for me to like burn out stress. For a long time, my go-to was like, okay, as soon as I get done working, I'm going to have a cocktail, you know,
mm,
but it became too much where it's like I'm drinking every day. And if you do that and you can manage
mm.
that, great. But it was affecting me on a deeper level. So I had to figure out something else, like an alternative. And so for me, that's been just praying and doing yoga and working out and, just doing things that make me feel good. But you have to set those boundaries for sure.
Now, speaking of doing things that make you feel good, like when you're surrounded by so many people, like do you, in your like personal life, do you feel the need to always be around people, or do you appreciate like that silence, that one with self type life?
I absolutely appreciate silence. Like, one thing about me, I don't have any siblings. So I grew up and I spent a lot of time like by myself. So whenever I did kind of get in the industry and, every day I'm at an event and, I'm always doing stuff on tour with a client or whatever, like that was an adjustment for me. I'm like, dang, like when am I gonna have some me time?
Mm.
So it's a part of the job, but I definitely appreciate coming home to an empty home, like just me and my dog, and we can just lay together and cuddle and just sleep. Like, I just love my solitude because you have to have time to process your life, and it's hard to do that when you're always going, but you definitely have to find time to just be in solitude and just, replay what happened throughout the day and just see how you feel. You don't even know how you feel if you're constantly communicating with other people or if you're constantly around other people. So it's very important. And I know that some people are afraid of being alone. And that was me too for a long time. I'm like, dang, I don't like, it feels good to be by myself, but I don't want to be stuck by myself.
Mhm.
So it's that fear, but I definitely think it's important to have that solitude so you can process your life.
Okay. Now, earlier you mentioned insecurities based off of like skin issues that you have.
Hmm.
Fast forward, the skin is good, and we're also helping other people to overcome those same issues. So tell us about Kri Skin.
Yes, yes. So yeah, I grew up and from the beginning, like of my life, for as long as I can remember, I always had acne and I could not figure it out. Like, I could not figure out where it was coming from. I tried, veganism like before it was a thing. Like, I was a vegan at like 8 years old because I
Oh,
thing meat is like making my skin bad. So I tried everything under the sun, doctors, whatever, and nothing worked, right? And so, fast forward to when I first moved to Atlanta, um, I got on Google and I found this guy who was based in China, and he made skincare. And so it started off as me just wanting something for me. Like, can you just fix my skin? So he sent me like 5 products. And the first batch didn't work as well as I had expected. So I don't know. God told me to trust that. So we just kind of went back and forth for like a year until I found 6 products that worked great for me. And so I was like, wow, this is really good. Like, my skin is clear. Like, it's not only do I not have acne, like the dark marks are gone and it's glowing, and I look great and I felt great. And so it was to the point where people that I had never even met, they would be like, oh my gosh, I love your skin. And that's something that no one ever told me before. So that's when I knew, like, okay, this is some good stuff. So, people were asking me, what do you use? What do you use? And it wasn't like I could like tell them like, oh, go to Target and get this product, because a guy made it for me in China. So, I called him up and I asked him if he could make like a lot of it. And he said, yeah. So he did. And he made a lot of it, and he sent it back over to America. And I got me an LLC and I started selling it because I was like, why not? Number one, why not monetize it? Because entrepreneurship is a thing. Let's do that. Yeah. But also, I feel like my purpose on earth is to help people. I feel like that's why I even do publicity. Like, I love helping people make their dreams, come to life with events and stuff like that. So something so personal to me, like, I know what it feels like to not love the skin you're in, literally, and not feel confident enough to look at people in your eyes when you talk to them, or even go out and be social because you don't like the way that you look when you look in the mirror. So, making a brand that literally is helping people feel better about themselves and, just do what it is that they feel like their purpose is, that's something that's really dear to me. So yeah, go and get you some Kri skin.
So in addition to your skin looking better, in addition to you having the opportunity to launch another business, how has the reception been from clients and friends and those that have actually had the opportunity to use the product?
So that's a really good point. I'm glad you asked that. In terms of clients, I was scared to launch the brand. Like, I knew that I wanted to do it because I knew that it was going to be good and it was going to help people. But, a lot of my clients, I had clients that worked in the beauty industry that sold makeup and they sold skincare and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I don't want to like step on anybody's toes. This is their lane. But I had to learn that there's room and there's space for all of us. There's like 8 billion people on this earth. Nobody can, you don't have to, be secluded to one thing. Like, nobody can just dominate the entire industry. Like, there's so much money to be made. Like, everybody can have a piece of the pie. So oddly enough, like, when I did launch it, like, some of my clients who had their makeup brands and their skincare brands, they supported it. They reposted it. They bought it. My friends supported it. It was a feeling that I had never really felt before. Cause it's like, yes, in terms of publicity and at the Create Agency, I love what I do there. But, I share that with somebody else. But when I make Kri Skin, that's mine, that's mine. Like, it has my name is literally on every bottle. Like, that's mine. And I created that. So that feeling was like a feeling that I've never felt before. Everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur, and I'm not going to say, like, I definitely haven't. I have had my challenges with entrepreneurship. And I'm still learning day by day, but that was a great feeling. And the support that I got from that, it's not gonna make me cry right now. I'm not gonna let that happen. But yeah, it's a great feeling for sure.
See, that's good. And I love it. Now, the conversations that you've had with yourself, now, when it comes to your clients and their brands and helping them to inspiring them or motivating them to get out there and just do it. It sounds like you wanted to do it, but of course, there are always some hesitations. But what were some of those conversations that you had to look in the mirror and say, look, Kri, get off your, let's do this. What were some of those conversations that helped motivate you to actually move forward with the launch?
Really, like, self-affirmations. Like, I love to write down stuff. So I literally would write down, you are incredible, you are smart, you are handsome, you are beautiful, you can do it, you can do anything. Like, I write that down like throughout the week. But just like you said, I literally have staff meetings with myself. I sit in front of the mirror and I tell myself, and don't judge me, but I tell myself kind of aggressively, like, what's wrong with you? Like, stop doubting yourself. You can do this. You are him. Like, you're that guy. Like, look at what you've done. Like, when I look at my life and the trajectory of my life, I've always been successful. And I'm not going to say I haven't failed, because you have to fail to be successful. But I have done some incredible things. And, it has always worked out. Even if I failed and I fell on my face or whatever, I ended up getting up and walking into another opportunity that just worked out. And so I'm a person that, like, I look at statistics and I look at, history. And like I said, like, the history is that I have been successful. So I had to just tell myself, why would this not be successful? I'm not, like, I'm smart, like, it will work out. So I just had to look at that and just say, even if I do fail, it's okay. Dust yourself off, try again, and move on.
You know what? I know that's right. And at the tender age of 25, you have experienced so many things. So when you get to 30 and 40, like, I can't wait to see what life is going to do for you, because over these past 5 years, I've seen the growth. And I love what I see when it comes to, everybody in the industry. I watch from afar, and it's very rare that I come to some of these people and say, I'm proud of you. But Kri, I'm proud of what you're doing. And one thing that I always respected about you is your attitude, your personality. It never changed. You've always been that inviting, welcoming, smiling person, even when the event was, just going. Like, you've always been that person. And I appreciate that. And keep being that, because we need that out here.
Yes.
People get a little, so keep being that person. So absolutely. So for people out there that are listening who would be interested in getting into anything, not necessarily publicity, but have an idea or a brand that they're trying to create, what are some of the common things that are, like, mistakes, I guess, that people make that you've noticed that they need to not do anymore?
I think a common practice that people do is they will look at other people and try to, like, imitate that formula. You know what I'm saying? Basically copy other people's style. And that comes off very inauthentic, and people can see that. People can feel that. So I think, like, I always tell people to just be yourself. Be professional. Don't, if you curse a lot or if you're ghetto, maybe don't do that all the time whenever you're trying to network. But be yourself. Be authentic. People love authenticity. We're in a world where there's too much fake stuff going on. So, like, just be yourself and be kind. Like, people think that, if you walk with your nose up in the air, like, people will command, like, that commands respect. And I mean, I guess that works, but I've got, just like you said, like, I'm warm, I'm inviting, like, I'm not a pushover, but I've gotten so many opportunities just because I'm nice.
Yeah.
I'm kind. And I'm from the South, so that may be the Southern hospitality in me, but it's like, it doesn't cost you anything to be kind, People, I like to be around people. Like, when I connect with people, it's usually because they match my heart. They have a nice, warm spirit. And that has literally gotten me places that my degree hasn't gotten me, my connections hasn't gotten me, just by being kind. So those are the two things. Be yourself and be nice. Like, don't make those mistakes, like thinking that you have to be, excuse my language, an asshole. Like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to be that. Be nice, and you'll get far.
Okay. Now, you mentioned acting earlier.
Yes.
Now, I mean, you got a face for the screen. So where did the passion and the idea that you wanted to get into acting come from?
So I started taking acting classes when I was at Georgia State. It was one of those things where it was like, when you're in college, you have, like, I guess they call them electives, where you can kind of just take extra classes that may not be in your career field, but you just kind of just take them. And so, I was interested. So I took an acting class and I loved it. Like, my acting teacher was like, wow, you definitely have a lot of emotion. Like, I've been through a lot in my life that I don't really talk about because, you know, I kind of feel like I've healed from it. So I just move on from it. But the beauty of acting is like you use your real life scenarios and what you've been through and you put them into the character that you're playing. And that was always fun for me. You know, like with work every day I have to be the same person. I have to be Kri Peck. So it's kind of fun to, like, you know, get on camera or even just get in class and just be somebody else for a second. Like you're using your real life scenarios, but you're applying them to that character. So it's kind of fun and challenging at the same time. So yeah, like I started taking them at Georgia State, and then from there I got the opportunity to work with Tasha Smith, who's an bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Tasha Smith is an incredible director, actress, and yeah, like I took her class and we hit it off from there. And so she's afforded me so many opportunities. Like she, you know, I've like private coached her, like when she's here in Atlanta, and even when I go to LA. You know, we work together all the time. And so, you know, with being an actor, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you act, what have you been in? What have you done? And so a lot of times, like, you'll have very, very small roles that you've been on, like you've been on set forever. Like you be on set for 3-4 days and you get a little itty bitty cameo in the show or the movie or whatever. So that's the weird thing about acting. But I'm just praying and manifesting, you know what I'm saying? Like my big break is coming. And it's been weird with acting too, because, you know, I kind of am like top dog in the PR world. So when I go to acting, it's kind of like I still have to like work my way up. And so that can be challenging, but I believe in the process. So I know my big break is coming. So stay tuned because I'm gonna be on your TVs real soon.
Now merging the two, like just imagine when you get that starring role, are you gonna hire Create Agency to do your event?
Absolutely. I'm keeping it in-house. Absolutely. I'm definitely keeping it in-house. Create Agency, just like you said, we throw the best events. We know how to do it right. So yeah, Create Agency is definitely going to be powering all of my events that I'm headlining. Absolutely.
Okay. Now I'm thinking of the each one teach one, each one reach one type thing. And a lot of the people that you guys work with, or a lot of the, you know, people that you've assisted are people that, you know, of course you've met in Atlanta, but I'm assuming a lot of them came from your Georgia State days, and you all are still like pretty tight. Like, how does that feel to actually have friendships and be able to, you know, help your friends with their various dreams and desires?
It feels great because I honestly feel like that's what it's all about, you know? Like I feel like people are in your life for a reason. And if I can help somebody, I'm going to do that. Like I'm not gonna not help you purposely. But I think that's what it's all about. I look at the people that are around me, people that work with me and for me, and my friends, I look at them as family. And so your family, usually they're supposed to look out for you. You know, sometimes, you know, family be on that. But
yeah.
you know, you're supposed to look out for your family. You're supposed to put your family on, if you will. And so for me to be able to do that, it feels great. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, somebody gave me an opportunity. Vaughn gave me an opportunity and he put me on, if you will. So for me to be able to do that, it feels great. And I encourage people to do that. You know, when people ask me for information, if I have it and I'm at the liberty to give it away, I literally give it away. Like I give away so much free game. And I tell people tips and tricks and stuff all the time because it's like we're all trying to find, you know, a common goal and we're all trying to get to where we want to be. So if I can help you do that, I'm literally going to.
Okay. Now, what's next? What's next for Kri? What's next for Kri Skin? What's next for the Create Agency? What is next?
It's so hard. Like when you asked me that, like I knew you was gonna ask me that question, right? So I had to look at my schedule and my calendar and say, okay, so what's going on in November and December? Because it's so busy every day, all the time. Like it's always something. So it is difficult to realize, like, okay, what's happening in the, you know, long term, right? But to answer that question, yes. So Kri Skin is restocking very, very soon. I'm coming with new products. You guys can expect that in November. It's been sold out for about a month or two, and people have really been on my head, like, what's going on? Like, I need to restock on my moisturizer. Like, what's up? I'm like, all right, I'm working on it. But you know what? Like with that, you know, that's like dealing with people's faces. So I put a lot of time in Kri Skin when I launched it, right? So I'm gonna do the same thing with the restock. I got to make sure the product is the same. Like I'm testing it on me. I'm testing it on, you know, models and stuff. So you guys can expect new products coming soon. I just got a place in Los Angeles. So in terms of PR, I'm going to be going back and forth from Atlanta and LA, which I do that anyway. So I figured I might as well just get a spot there, right?
Yeah, getting a spot out there, that make it a little more official, because we know LA ain't cheap.
It's not. So I'm so blessed and so grateful that I'm in a position to do that. But yeah, so in terms of PR, we're expanding our territory. So we, you know, on the West Coast with it. Yeah. So I'm super excited about that, because since I'll be based there, kind of like I'll be able to do more and, you know, network more and, you know, garner new clients in the LA space. So I'm really excited about that. By the time this airs, I believe the BET Hip Hop Awards will have already aired. So we're doing that. So you guys can be on the lookout for the BET Hip Hop Awards airing on October 4th. And yeah, otherwise, just, you know, clock in with me. Go to my Instagram at the Kri Peck. I'm always doing stuff. I love, one thing about it, I love to document what I'm doing, like the behind the scenes stuff. I don't always post everything on my main page, but there's always something on my story. And I do that just to kind of show people, like, people always tell me, like, I live vicariously through you. I love that. Like, I love to show people what, you know, the entertainment industry looks like. And lastly, I am going to be doing a masterclass where I explain in depth what PR is, how you can get in the industry. I'm doing media training for people who don't know how to speak to the media. And you guys can expect that really soon. I'm probably going to drop that this week so people can sign up. But yes, I'm super excited about that, because people are always asking me for stuff. And you know, tips and stuff like that. So I'm super excited about that. So that's what's going on. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And like I said earlier, I'm proud of you. Congratulations on everything that you're doing. When we're done, I need to call you real quick, because I just thought of something else. But yeah, I appreciate you for joining us today. I appreciate your openness and your truth, and, you know, just sharing your story with the people. People, I hope y'all enjoyed it too, and make sure you guys follow Kri. In November, make sure y'all got y'all dollars together so y'all can go ahead and get y'all some of that Kri Skin, so that y'all can be looking as good as he is. And Kri, once again, I appreciate it, and we will talk soon.
Thank you, Q. Thank you, Black Talk.
Thank you. All right.
All right, see you.